All right, you just heard Sarah Palin giving her endorsement for Donald Trump. That was a pretty riveting speech. I don't think anyone could say otherwise. Zinger after zinger, one-liner after one-liner. That was something else to watch. That was something that Donald Trump is hoping turns the tide for him in the state of Iowa, where she is so popular with evangelicals, and you just heard her bring in his faith in the Almighty, among many other things that are red meat to those evangelical voters. I want to go straight now to the co-chair for the Ted Cruz campaign, Bob Vanderplaats, Trump supporter Jeff Lord, who served as White House political director for President Reagan, and our chief political analyst, Gloria Borger. Gloria, do you agree with my assessment? I mean, that was something to watch. That was Sarah Palin at the best she can be to the people who love to see her.
Right, and it was kind of deja vu all over again. If you recall Sarah Palin's speech at the McCain convention, where she was so riveting. I think this time she did two things. It was kind of an ode to Donald Trump.
Yep.
For those evangelicals you were talking about, and for conservatives who might have some questions about Trump, say, versus Ted Cruz. And it was a complete diss of the Republican establishment. And that is always attractive to Republican-based voters, particularly Iowa caucus goers. She said the establishment has been so busted, as she put it, and that Donald Trump is going to take on the establishment. She talked about the dopes in Washington. She gave a little shout out to Rand Paul. She reminded people in Iowa that Donald Trump may be rich, but he is not an elitist. He is on your side. So she checked every box she had to check.
I mean, she really did. And Jeff Lord, you're sitting here nodding. I mean, look, you were chuckling and laughing during part of it. I think that was part of what was compelling about this.
Right.
She reprised some of her old favorite lines, right? She called him a rogue. You know, she made her comments. She could be salty at times.
Yes.
She also laughed at Donald Trump at one point.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's going to be huge. I mean, she had the ability to do that.
She gave a very, very good speech. I mean, this audience, I mean, her speech was directed at primarily, I think, number two audiences, well, the conservative audience. And that is particularly important considering the flack that Donald Trump has gotten in the last few days from Rush Limbaugh and Sean Hannity, Mark Levin, et cetera. Sarah Palin is an anecdote to that. I mean, I think that she can help a lot with Donald Trump in terms of the conservatives and the conservative movement. And the second thing, which is very important, is the establishment critique. That is a huge issue with a lot of Republicans. Yep. And her critique on that, I mean, it was pretty scathing. And that, frankly, is the kind of thing that you do hear on talk radio. That's the kind of thing you hear with a lot of grassroots Republicans, and she was very good on it.
What do you say, Bob? I mean, obviously, you're sitting there on the Ted Cruz side of things. Sarah Palin, you know, endorsed Ted Cruz for Senate, something he called game-changing, saying he wouldn't be in the Senate without it. She now is coming out here ahead of the Iowa caucus when Ted Cruz is neck and neck with Donald Trump, endorsing Donald Trump. So this is a very big moment. First of all, would you agree that this speech was what that audience wanted, that this is a powerful speech and going to help with evangelicals?
Well, Sarah Palin does definitely give a good speech, and I think it's a good endorsement for Donald Trump, and we do like Sarah Palin. But as Jeffrey knows and Gloria knows and I know, when it comes down to the Iowa caucuses a week from Monday night, the Iowa voters are very independent, they're very savvy, they usually don't let people tell them who to vote for, they're assessing the candidates. And I would say right now, with Ted Cruz being in first or second place, with over 50% of the Iowa caucus goers, he's in great shape to perform on February 1st. We know this race is going to go right down to the wire, and I think people are going to be drawn to Ted Cruz and the consistency of convictions that allows him to be the real conservative in this race.
What do you think, Gloria, it was when it came down to it for Sarah Palin that made her choose Donald Trump over Ted Cruz, given that she has endorsed Ted Cruz so publicly last time around when he ran for Senate?
You know, it's really hard to say. Maybe it's because Ted Cruz complains about Washington, but he is in Washington. Maybe the fact that he's in the United States Senate. I think she likes Ted Cruz an awful lot, and I don't think she's going to go out there and say Ted Cruz is a terrible guy.
Which she didn't do. I mean, she did pick on the establishment so aggressively. She didn't go after Ed Cruz specifically here.
She did not. She did not. She went after the establishment, and I think she's going to be very pro-Trump. I mean, she sort of summarized it when she said, "We are mad, we've been had," right? And that is the sense of Republican base party voters. They are mad as hell, and they're not going to take it anymore. And they want somebody who understands that and who represents that. And I think it's also a little bit of celebrity and celebrity. I mean, I think she sees Donald Trump as a celebrity.
They
and
speak that language, yeah.
Yeah, he said to her, "You're hired," right? And because they're a little bit alike.
That is true. I mean, Jeffrey Lord, you know, to Gloria's point, when she talked about Washington and the whole corrupt system, as she declared, it cannot be salvaged, it must be savaged.
Right.
But this is, what are we going to see here? You know, it's interesting. Then there was nothing wrong with it, but you have Donald Trump standing on the side, and then at the end he goes and they're standing together, and you know, it almost is. It looked kind of like a vice president sort of a thing. Obviously, you know, this is an endorsement. It's not that. But what role is she going to have? Is that what part of this endorsement was about?
As I understand it, she has expressed an interest in being Secretary of Energy. I think she'd be a good Secretary of Energy.
So that could be part of the deal here. Give me this endorsement at this crucial moment.
You know, I have no idea, but we are dealing with somebody who does the art of the deal. I don't know, but I mean, she genuinely believes what she believes here. And she is a genuine conservative. She really is quite passionate about this. And so I don't think that she's frankly that cynical. I mean, you know, if something came her way, which would be likely in the Trump administration, and frankly, you know, probably in a Cruz administration for that matter, then she might consider it. But I believe she does this for principle. I mean, she's in it for her beliefs.
All right.